guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another video. It's university related. I decided I'm going to be talking about my accommodation experience, staying in university accommodation since first year ended so abruptly. I'll just tell you guys my experiences so far, what I thought, maybe some pros and cons and whatever. So yeah, let's not make this video too long. Let's get into it. I decided to go for private accommodation on the basis that when I looked through the accommodations that they were giving us, I looked at them, I was just like, listen, if you want my money, this has to be decent, okay? And when I was looking at the rooms and stuff, I was like, maybe not, maybe not.
No, ma'am.
So I decided to look at private accommodation because I said, cool, if I'm paying 6-7k, the room needs to be worth it. So I looked at some of private accommodation and I found this one. If you haven't watched my moving in vlog, I'll link it down below. But anyways, found this accommodation and I was like, I fell in love with it. I was like, oh, this one is sweet. And with me, yeah, for me to be comfortable, the room just needs to feel clean and it just needs to be furnished properly, okay? So yeah, when I saw this one, I said, I hope this is like the pictures, because you know when you see pictures and then you go and see the room and it's like, all right. But luckily when I went, I didn't do a viewing, but when I went, the room was on point. And I found that the location was so beautiful. So I think that's one of the things you need to look for when you're looking for accommodations. Make sure the location is good for you. My accommodation was like a 5-10 minute walk from my university. So for me, I was like, aha, yes, I get to stay in there a little bit longer and I don't have to walk that far. So yes, I was so happy with that. There was shops all around. There was Asda, Superstore, Tesco, the big one. There was Aldi, Lidl, Primark down the road, everything. I said, this is for me.
This is for me.
Yeah, I loved where it was. When I walked in, the interior, let me tell you guys, the interior, oh my days, you could tell that it was just made, honestly, because the way this thing was just gleaming, okay? There was LEDs around the mirrors, there was the desk was just so I love large desk spaces, and if you watch my video you can see how like long it is and wide, and I was like, sweet. It was so sweet. There was large amounts of like storage space, which is another thing you guys should look out for when you're picking a room. Make sure there's lots of storage space, because you're gonna have a lot of stuff and you're gonna probably have more stuff when you leave than when you first began, okay? The amount of stuff in my room now, I don't know how it got there. And another thing I liked is that it wasn't a single bed. Guys, I can't do single beds, Single beds. No, ma'am. So when I saw that it was a small double, I was like, yes, sir. Moving on. Now what I'm going to talk about is these hygiene issues that some of y'all have. What is wrong with you? Listen, okay. When I first moved in, yeah, I was like, cool, let me give them the benefit of a doubt and maybe, I don't know what I was thinking, but I said, let's allow them. Everyone said it, like, let's allow them. You're just moving in, enforcing rules and stuff it's not gonna look good. So you just hope and pray that they clean up after themselves.
Weeks and weeks.
and weeks went by, and these people didn't clean up after themselves. Every single time I want to make food, I have to clean the surfaces. I have to put away people's stuff. Why are you leaving? Like, listen, guys, when you cook your food, yeah, and your food drops on the stove, do you just go,
Alright, I'm done here. Bye, guys.
it's like, what you doing? Me, I'm normal. I legit see my food spill and I'm like, let me clean it up. Do you know what I'm saying? But I don't think that clicks in people's heads. So when I have to come and clean up your mess, it's just like, do I even want to make food? So there were so many times I was just like, I can't be asked to clean up after people. So I just put some chicken pieces in the oven. So what I did was I wrote like posters. Yeah, I wrote posters saying, hey, yo, you guys need to clean up after yourselves. You guys need to have respect for others.
Not on my watch. Not on my...
And I think only like 1 or 2 people listened until we had a kitchen inspection and we didn't pass. How can you not pass a kitchen inspection? What? Really? So after that, suddenly everyone wanted to be Cinderella and clean up. So they decided, oh yeah, cool, let's take it upon ourselves to clean. I didn't take any part in that because I was cleaning up from day. I said, this is you. This is you guys, I'm sorry. Like, if you drop some crumbs on the floor, why aren't you sweeping it up? Where is the home training? But yeah, that's one of the things you guys will face when you go to accommodation. I don't think it will change whether you go to private accommodation, whether you live in halls. Some people's hygiene ain't gonna be like yours, and you gonna have to live with that. It's actually deep, unless you get a studio. But yeah, I would say if you can afford a studio, you better get it. One thing I did like about my private accommodation is that it gave me the chance to kind of choose whether I wanted to kind of go out or not, if that made sense. Like, I was able to kind of keep my priorities in line. I know people say, oh, when you live in halls, you'll be able to get to know people more easily. That's kind of true. I feel like when you don't live in halls, you have to make more of an effort. You have to make more of an effort to get to know people. I feel like that whole getting to know situation, if you want to get to know, you will get to know. Because I know people who live in halls and they are struggling to get to know people. So for me, I'm a sociable person. So I don't really find it that hard to socialize. But I'm very careful about who I socialize with. So people will think, it's because you're in a private accommodation, that's why. No, it's because my energy and your energy, it don't interlock. If our energies don't work together, I'm not going to chase after that energy. Sometimes it was annoying because I said there was a motive and it was like it started at 10 o'clock and then you have to travel by yourself to and from in the middle of the night. It's kind of a bit, it puts you off from going out. So yeah, I feel like that part is annoying because you don't have anyone to travel with and that type of stuff. You're kind of by yourself. Yeah. But I mean, I made an effort to get to know people and I could tell whether people were making an effort to get to know me. That's the one thing I liked. So when like some people would say, oh, that accommodation is far, but then I remember that I would travel to them. It's like, cool. So now I know that you actually don't really want to get to know me, you know. But yeah, I ain't too fast. I'm not one of those people that need 10,000 friends. I need a couple good ones, couple loyal ones that I can count on. And that's what matters to me, and I have that. So I'm not even too worried. But yeah. Yeah, I think those are a couple things where you're like, ugh, sometimes I wish I was in a hall because then I could be socializing more. But then at the end of the day, I'm going to be in this university for a long time. So if we don't socialize now, we'll have next week. We'll have the next month. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't even too worried. I'm one of those people who thinks everything happens for a reason. So at some point, if you are supposed to be in my life like that, you will be. I ain't too worried about that, you know? But yeah, that's one of the things. Some people may feel isolated while they're living in private accommodation, which at times I did. I can't even lie. I think everyone does. Even if they're not in private accommodation, sometimes you feel like, bro, I'm here by myself, you know?
Ask you how you are.
Ain't
You just say
nobody
that you're
here.
fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because
Nobody.
they would never understand.
But yeah, that's what I would say. Just make time for other people. Make time to do things with people so you don't feel like you're alone. And I knew that even when I felt those feelings, I had people that, you know, loved my company and I loved their company. And I knew that I had friends. So it wasn't even a fact where, oh my gosh, I feel so isolated and I have nobody. It's like I knew I had people, so I just had to be like, snap out of it. But yeah, overall, it wasn't a bad experience. You know, you're not going to have a 10/10 experience when you go to university. Yeah, one thing I can say is someone might be using your pot and you don't even know, or eating your food. But let's not get into that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and please comment down below if you want to see anything else. And yeah, I hope you guys are all doing good in this quarantine, you know, situation. It's a bit of a sticky one, isn't it? But yeah, hope you guys are keeping sane. Try and be productive. Doesn't have to be university work or school work. Just try do something that helps you become a better person. So yeah, bye guys.